Alright, we just thought we'd highlight a couple cars here. So it's Friday's setup day, but this is one of the original certification cars that's going to go through. This car has 3,900 miles on it. How cool is that? I'm sure it was probably a race car from day one. We'll try to get more information from the judges. It's going to be on the lift here pretty soon. They're just finishing putting that lift together, but just want to do a quick video on this. I'll do a top side and then I'll do underneath when they get it up on the lift. But wow, very original car. I'm gonna take a lot of pictures of this just for restorations when we're doing our stuff. It's like an original battery in there. 2-tag car, pre-loaded out. E74 is Hemi, D21 is 4-speed, BS23 is Barracuda, S is Cuda for sport, 23 is Tudor hardtop, R is Hemi, O is 1970, B is Hamtramck, 247343 is the sequence number on the VIN, SC7 is Plum Crazy, PRX9 leather, black leather interior, 000 is upper door frame color, which is none on a Cuda because they have a full door panel. 210 is the scheduled production date, SPD, that's January 10th. 006801 is the sequence number, or the vehicle order number. V1X is black metal top. A01 is light package. A21 is front rubber bumper, which is right there. Which I actually kind of love that it has cracks in it. I love that originality. It's super cool. 834 is Fender brand. A62 is Rally Dash, and that was optional on a Cuda, that was not standard. B51 power disc brakes, which you had to get with the axle package. C16 is console. C26 is overhead console, which came with the leather interior. C55 is bucket seats. C62 is 6-way seat. G36 is dual painted racing mirrors, which came with the rubber bumpers. J45 is hood pins. J54 is, it's interesting, it's actually Cuda bulge hood, but on a lot of shaker cars, they put them on there. It was standard on a Cuda, so, but sometimes that was still on the Fender tags for some reason, I'm not sure why. L31 is Fender turn signals, M21, M25, M31 is the moldings, drip rail, belt moldings on the doors, and the rear tail trim panel, and drip rails. N41 is dual exhaust, N42 is dual exhaust with tips. N85 is TAC, which came with the Rally Dash, of course. N96 is shaker hood, which was standard on every Hemicuda. R22 is 8-track. Y05 is built for US specs. 26 is the radiator, 26-inch, which of course was standard on a Hemi. And EN1 is end of codes. And 1 means it went on the first line of the factory. Look at like the seam sealer on here. Just these little details. It has put actual locks on it, so they couldn't steal it. One thing to look at, so Glen Ray makes repression radiators. They do a really good job. But the one thing that isn't right on them is, see those dimples on top? You only see those on originals. You don't see those on reproductions. See the finish on the hood latch here? It's that brown zinc. I still haven't found a good way to reproduce that. Hood spring, really nice. Original washer bottle. So a lot of guys, they put NOS ones or used ones on, so they have a cut on the back there. That's for 71. They did that for more clearance on the engine bay. But this is a correct original 70 washer bottle. Spark plug wires. 3rd quarter of 69. Original chrome wheel cap. Shaker hood. They always had the sticker there. They put wood grain on the bubble. I'm not sure why they did that. It's definitely interesting. Original radiator hose there. So you can see that kind of diamond pattern on the hose. You don't see it on the repos. They haven't found a way to reproduce that yet. And of course, the correct Corbin clamps. Original radiator cap. Original Hemi booster on this. We actually need to come up with one of those for the Hemicuda we just took apart. See how faded the paint is on here? Plum Crazy was one of the worst paints out there. It never really held up for the factory. You almost never see original paint Plum Crazy cars. Annual window sticker from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. See the one chrome bolt on the molding. The other one's just bare. pretty much every option on it. It's not missing too much. Leather seats, of course. Original trunk seal. It's right there. It's got Michigan plates on the new. Original Organisol finish on that. It's an interesting reference. Beautiful original chrome.
Right. Examination of the underside. Okay.
Space saver spare in there.
I would just move it out.
Jack with the front plating. Original racing stickers in there. Cool. Original Goodyear tires. Interesting, it doesn't have the call out on it, which I think is correct for this actually. That was a real early 70 thing where they didn't have the call out. So it's in black, not in raised white letters. Going up on the lift. So I was just talking to Scott, and apparently the story on this is, so when he bought it, you know, day 2, he got Keystones for it. So the wheels came off, hubcaps came off, and he actually put the original tires on the Keystones. And then sat in the garage, went flat for years, and then he put them back on. So apparently those are original. So that's actually kind of an interesting restoration question on this, that it doesn't have the call outs, and I would have thought at this point it would have had them. Huh. If anybody has any comments on that in the comments, I'd love to hear it. Wood grain mud flaps. So 70s. As I've said a million times in my videos, lift don't lie. Once you get it up there, it tells the whole story. Original 450 wheels, the number on there. Charlie day code 1211. So that's December 11th, 1969. Car was built on February 10th, so yeah, about 2 months before. That's about right. That one matches December 11th. Check the other two. It's pretty common to have wheels that have different day codes on them. I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, 1211. 1211, they all match. Look how nice those rockers are. These things are always destroyed in a store. Wood grain mud flaps. Undercoated car. Torque boxes. Pretty righteous. So when Scott asked him to bring it in here, he specifically asked him not to clean it, because they always steam clean it before it comes in, because they think it's all supposed to be pretty. Then it takes away a lot of the originality. That's how you want to see it. This is an absolute nice reference car. This is the broken off Zord fittings there. This thing is gorgeous. It's right up there on the engine and on the transmission. Both, of course, match. Hope you guys can see this kind of detail. Inspection marks, orange there. Inspection mark there. Cosmoline on the lower control arms. Undercoating spray, even some spatter webs left. Some storage. Lots of undercoating on this one. They didn't skimp on the undercoating. Original boots, grease coming out. Got a little bit of light down here. Of course, rear 10-inch brakes with front discs, that was standard. Has sugar tag right there. 410 tag right there. NSRA sticker on there too. National Sticker Association.
It's got the little plates.
Rear torque boxes. Has the reinforcement plates up there too. Has the reinforcement plate above the snubber as well. The data hits hard. Example of factory welds on torque boxes. Original shocks. See the tab there, you know that's original. Your production ones don't come with that. Undercoating pattern. Light isn't great, it's really noisy. there's a bit of different perspective down here. You can see underneath the quarter panel, so the factory welds there. Amazing gaps, beautiful chrome. See, the tips didn't even fit from the factory. A little bit too far in. So the screws there. Fasteners underneath here. Hi. Gas tank. Smeared a little bit of undercoating. I just wiped off. So this is the number. So on a Hemi on the top pad, they don't show you as much as the big block does. So here's the assembly date. So it's 170. I can't read the first number. And then it's original plant 426, 10,000 calendar date, and then the one they made in a row. I'll put in text to decode that. I never have that memorized. Let me see if I can see the first date there by eye, because I can't see it on video. But this is the back ear of the engine, just below the starter on a Hemi. They always have an assembly date there. I think that's 1970, which again, about a month before the car was built. And then chassis number. Unfortunately, you can't see them on Hemis. They're always covered up. It's 6.2, I'm assuming probably 69, maybe that's 5.2. Unfortunately, they're always stuck behind the starter on a Hemi, so you can't see them. Original Hemi dipstick with the covering on it. Of course, 4-bolt mains, cross bolts on these. Original oil pan in excellent condition. Original drain plug with the gasket.
Perfect example.
Kind of cool. Date code on the rear end is 12569. Getting matched up with everything else. And then the strap, super hard to find these with date codes. It's a 10469. So they still have the original retainers on them. Those have never been off before. Scott just pointed this out. It's interesting. There's like some bluing on the lower leaf spring there. It actually isn't on the front and on the rest of them. They're both the same way. It's the correct part number on there. 340-0034. Yeah, it's weird. The bottom spring actually has a different coating than the other ones. Yeah, 3.4. Cool. I love these little details. These have a vapor canister and return line. So there's a good detail of original one. That lower hose has definitely been changed, but I think the filter's original still. I think he said the fuel pump was leaking, so maybe that's been changed, but that's the original configuration. So main fuel into there, up to there, and then return line back to the tank. Here's the 3/8 line under normal circumstances. It was too much
Head
fuel.
of that bolt
Part number on the belt.
is here, and that's a Highland bolt. It's the H.
The main bolt's painted there. Filters, of course, been changed. Lower hose, again, looks original. Corrosion on the radiator, but that's to be expected. This thing is. They say never do math on calendar, but I'm pretty sure it's
off intermissing.
54 years?
You're
Don't
fine
quote me on
there.
that.
Okay.
There's the coin on the K member. Can't really read it because it's a little rusty. That's how to identify it on the assembly line. The anti-rattle clips on the disc brakes. Original front shocks. It's pretty cool he didn't clean it, because most times you see these Survivor cars, they go through and try to clean all the grease off, and it's really nice being able to see it in its original state, not clean. There's the shaker drain hoses. See how far down they go. I don't think the repos actually go down that far. So when water pulls on the shaker hood, those hoses right there were the drains to go down. So Dave Wise and Scott are going over this car, and they just know something kind of cool. So see on this side, there's body plug, which is only halfway in on that side. So on this side, see how there's no body plugs? Well, I think on the assembly line, they just missed them when the guy did undercoating. He just put tape there, and then undercoated the tape, and it stayed there the whole time. So factory mistake. Isn't that cool? Another 70 CUDA only thing, not unique to this car, but they actually had shock plates that were unique, so they went down an inch. And in 70, they just got rid of it, went back to the regular one. I think they wanted a little bit more travel on them, I guess. And then it still has the original shipping brackets back here. That's how they tied it down on the trains when they went to the dealers. Original heat shield on the starter. Those suckers were close. It's really hard getting those out with the manifolds on. I've done it, but it is not easy. So this car has like every option in the world, but manual steering. Like everything but power steering, basically. Interesting. Correct 12-point headed bolts with the steering box, the washers underneath. Those are getting really hard to find. We had to come up with a set of those in the shop the other day, and I thought I had more than I did. I really don't have that many left. See the old welding rod in there? That's awesome. We're putting the K-member together. This car has the 6-way seats. There's actually an extra bracket under there to reinforce the floor pan with all the torsional stress they put on there. So these are actually added on a 6-way seat car. A lot of guys don't put those on when they have the 6-way seat. 6-way seat's a really nice option, especially for a tall guy like me. It gives you a lot more adjustment. Okay, so I know I talked about this earlier, but I just wanted to point this out again, that a lot of people get wrong tires for their car. These are F6015s. Normally it would say Polyglass GT F6015. These are dated November 69, so they definitely use these later in the year than most people think. I've heard kind of conventional wisdom say it was like only August, maybe in September. Well, this is a November day-coated tire. I mean, it might have sat around for a month or two, so February might be late for production on this, but I mean, it's a November without a call out, so I think a lot of people probably have wrong tires on their cars. So just run with what it is, but you know, pretty much anything October and before should have the non-call out tire, which I think is, I don't know, I find that really interesting. All right, well, I hope everybody liked that video. Kind of did a little bit of a deep dive on a Survivor 71 CUDA. I like doing at least one of these at MCACN every year. I know a lot of people are restoring their cars. They want good examples of Survivors, and this is a place where you can really see that. So I hope everybody enjoyed the video. This is Tom with Rocket Restoration. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll talk to you soon.